Like it's Mike to throw
Some
first.
would argue
Game on.
that Mike hasn't really kicked on as much as people thought, but as a young man, the best thing to do in the first couple of years is to gain experience.
You said, Paul, that Mark Frost had
56.
the best nickname in darts, but surely the hobo in the last game is going to rival that.
Absolutely. I think
100.
the hobo really does sum up what Steve McNally has done over the last 20, 25 years. He's scrapped and scraped for everything that he's got in the game, and I think that needs to be applauded.
40.
And if there's one thing we should take from Steve McNally, it's that if you have a dream, don't let anything stop you.
100.
What do you think about this game, Murph? Do you have a favourite? Any thoughts?
Not really. Zuydwijk is showing that he may well be the favourite with a throw like that.
82.
The young Dutchman with the first maximum, but Frost looking to hit back. Mark Frost been around
140.
a long, long time.
Been around a very long time. Many, many caps for Staffordshire. Wore that maroon shirt with pride for many years.
91.
Was a
Mark
big
hitter
hitter in county darts
161.
as well. What he wants is a big hit here. That's a great visit.
125.
Pressure on
Mark
Zuydwijk now.
134.
He's going for two treble 17s and double 16. Now he's got to fix the situation with the treble.
42. Mark
Hit the 180, he looks in pole position for the leg, but Frost wants 36. He's getting closer.
Game shot on the
And there
first
he is,
leg.
it's
Mark
in.
Frost. Second leg is
Very
Mark
good
to throw
leg from
first.
Frosty.
Game on.
Yep, against the throw as well. Yeah, we saw Steve McNally bow out at the hands of Roby John Rodriguez, who
95.
possibly one of the most impressive displays of the afternoon.
I'd say so. I think he looked in his comfort zone in front of his home crowd. Some people would think it's added pressure. I think he's played enough games in Austria
45.
and on the European Tour now to be able to handle that pressure. And he just looked relaxed, and his own type of brashness came out, and I think that's when he plays his best darts, is when he can be
80.
himself. I think dart players in general have to have an identity, and when you find that identity and it works, you have to stick with it.
Yeah, twice in that match he
100.
followed in a 180, and that kind of showed what he's all about.
He's a very, very dangerous young player. A lot of people on the Pro Tour can attest to how hard it is to beat him.
43.
Especially when you've got a few hundred people behind him shouting his name. No matter where you play,
100.
everyone's got a home venue. Can be an equaliser. You've got to be strong in mind to make sure you get over the line, but it wasn't to be for Steve.
100.
Mark Frost is looking for the same kind of result as what Roby John Rodriguez just got.
Yeah, Rodriguez joining James Richardson, Nigel Hayden, Chris Dobie, Simon Stevenson, Dimitri Vandenberg and Jermaine
83.
Watamina in opening round victories today. 8 more matches this evening to complete the lineup for the last 32 tomorrow. 16 seeds come into the tournament,
79.
including Michael Van Gerwen and Phil the Power Taylor making his return to the European Tour after a couple of year absence.
It'd be very interesting to see how Phil reacts to not being in
137.
European darts for a while.
Mark require 104.
Good to see him back.
Well, Frost looking for a Taylor-style
92.
finish.
Mike require 36.
36 it is for double 18. A dangerous double 9. Got to go inside.
27.
A little
Mark
groan from
require
Zuydwijk.
12.
Yeah,
It's a
too
poor effort.
far inside. Over
Game
adjustment.
shot on the second leg.
Perfect.
Mark Frost.
Shot
Third leg is
from
Mike
Mark
to throw
Frost.
first. Game on.
Who now has a 2-0 lead, and in both legs, Zuydwijk was sitting pretty at one point.
Sitting pretty he was. Hasn't got the job done. First time I met
93.
Mike Zuydwijk was at a Grand Slam qualifier just under 2 years ago, and he ripped through the field.
85.
Beat the likes of James Hubbard. Beat myself in a very good quality game. And he beat a couple other people as well. And it took a really good performance from Jamie Caven
140.
to take him out. And that was to get into the Grand Slam of darts. After that, he went to Q School, got his card with his friend Jeffrey de Swan,
100.
who we will see later on tonight. And they travel together under the tutelage of Raymond van Barneveld. They're doing a very good job. What
58.
will we hear from those guys in the future? It's that unknown. Makes us watch darts all the time. We want to see who is the next superstar coming out of Holland.
140.
Well, Zuydwijk, the self-proclaimed prospect, as it says on the back of his shirt. How much of a prospect is he? These darts suggest a rather big one.
137.
Again, puts him in a pretty good position in this leg. Frosty's been putting pressure on these shots.
100.
And he does so
Mike
again.
Uruguay, 73.
Now he's got to get the job done. Will he do it? He's got to go for treble 19. Single 14. Double top.
53.
Dips low again.
Mark Uruguay, 76.
Just like he did with double 18 in the last leg.
So Frost with a chance for a steal. Oh, and he's missed a big number.
36. Mike Uruguay, 20.
And this time it's Mark Frost that gets himself in something of a pickle at the end of a leg. But Zuydwijk's not got the job done yet. Needs to move down for double 5.
15.
Similar to the double
Mark
9 shot
Uruguay,
earlier.
40.
Doesn't seem to be confident on doubles, Mike. Heads down. Frosty's at the board.
Game
And
shot in
takes
the
it.
third leg. Mark Frost.
Dream
Fourth
streak
leg
for
is Mark
Frosty.
to throw first. Game
When
on.
you first come up onto the stage in a first round match, you just think, let me have a good start. He's been given a couple of situations and he's taken advantage of it. Those
100.
double stats don't lie.
Yeah.
43% is very, very good. But when you've had 7 chances, you would think you'd want to take at least half of those.
Yeah, well, they've both had the
57.
same amount of attempts at doubles, and Mark Frost got 3 in the legs column, so...
There's only one statistic that Mark Frost wants to see, and that's a 6 next to his
100.
name in about 15 to 20 minutes' time.
Doubles for dough, as Bobby George would say.
That's a perfect dart for Mike. Lots of force in that second dart. And he wants to do the same again.
140.
Right down the line. Sure, he's got his eye in, especially on the scoring stakes, but not for Frosty. Frustrated with that dart, to say the least.
Yeah, I don't know if something else troubled him then. He was gesticulating.
119.
Perhaps Zuydwijk walked in his eye line, but that's, if he did, it's because he threw before he got past him.
We do have an exclusion zone
82.
on the Oki in black, as you can see.
If you look there, he's throwing before Zuydwijk's out of the way, so
60.
can't really complain. A lot of players do that, fast players, if they're throwing as the opponent's walking past them. I suppose it tends not to matter when you're in the zone, but when things start to
100.
go wrong.
Mark Uruguay, 122.
Never a truer word spoken. This is pretty good. Bullseye. He's got to go for it.
82.
Big
Mike Uruguay,
time
122.
Huge risk.
You've got to think that Phil Taylor taught him that trick.
Mark Frost says, "You're not taking this, Mike."
It's not a bad little guide, that. You'll just flick off the left side of it. Too much. The gamble has paid off, but folks at home, I wouldn't
44.
suggest doing that.
Mark Uruguay, 40.
Very, very dangerous tactic. It's
Game
there.
shot on the fourth leg.
4-0
Mark
it
Frost. Fifth leg is Mike to throw first. Game on.
Very, very interesting move that I don't think I've ever seen anyone do it when the opponent's been on a shot like 1-2-2 where they get a double chance at the treble.
I've seen a player of the caliber of
60.
Phil Taylor leave it many times. He's got something like 181, or sorry, 141. He's got a shot at the bullseye on a shot.
100.
And your opponent's on something like 161, 160, 170. That's a big time shot. But you're right in what you say. 122, I think that was a huge gamble, but it did pay off. But he would have looked like a real
95.
fool if Michael had taken that out.
Well, he's looking anything but at the moment. 4-0 up. And looks to be
100.
cruising into the next round.
Doesn't seem to be troubled by anything really, Frosty. Cruising is definitely the right word.
140.
Yeah, some decent scoring visits from Mike Zuydwijk, but as we say, the attempts at double
60.
have not really threatened to go in. He's got himself in some promising positions, but maybe the difference in experience is showing today. Could be in another good position here.
132.
It's not bad, leaves 74 after 12 darts. Frosty to pressure. Frosty, someone who has graced the stage at the
100.
World Match Play
Mikey
Championships.
requires 74.
We have seen matches turn from this point. So if Zuydwijk can take out this 74 finish by pinning double tops, it could be game on.
54.
That's not
Mikey
far
requires
away.
141.
Will he return?
Yes, he definitely will.
60. Mikey requires
His
20.
double stats aren't good. How good is he at double 10? Can't do anything about the previous shots.
Game shot on the 5th leg.
And there we
Mike
go.
Zuydwijk.
The gesture from Mike says, where have you been?
6th leg is marked to throw first. Game on.
That was a hold, an important one. If he'd lost that leg, I think that was game over.
60.
Well, that leg, that double 10 means that none of the exiting players have been whitewashed today. Some very competitive matches this afternoon. Who's been your star performer, Paul?
57.
I like the way that James Richardson played. I thought he looked aggressive, but not too aggressive. He looked in the zone. He looked like he was ready to get the job done. And I was very impressed with how he approached the match.
140.
I think when you look at the fixtures from this afternoon, that was the one. That's the one performance I can say that someone really impressed me.
100.
He always seems to play well in Europe. I said that with Dan earlier. Certain people just find this European
125.
tour format to their liking, and the Pro Tour events that we play away from the cameras, some people prefer those ones.
Yeah, almost mini majors have been referred to, these
56.
European Tour events with the stage setting, the bigger crowds over the weekend.
Sure, in the future that all of the Pro Tour events will be in front of these kinds of crowds. The growth of the
52.
game, the demand for tickets, the people who want to see the players perform at their best. The only way to do that is big arenas. The PDC are definitely doing something about that.
Yeah, well, a handful of the elite players will be jet setting it off to
56. Marky
New
requires
Zealand,
124.
China, Japan, Australia over the summer. As the game continues to grow worldwide, the World Series
60.
continues.
And we both know how good the Auckland Masters was last year, Murph. It was sensational. Capped off with the best game that's ever been seen in a World Series, with Van Barneveld and Lewis putting on a real classic.
140.
Frost
Marky
wants
requires
64
64.
to move within a leg of round 2. Tops.
24. Mikey
Well,
requires
Zuydwijk's got a
92.
chance here now to get a break of throw. 92. Will he go the bullseye route? He didn't. Brave, bold. And will it pay off? It does.
Game shot on the 6th
Fabulous
leg.
finish from Mike
Zuydwijk.
Zuydwijk. 92 out
7th leg is Mike
to
to
break
throw
the
first.
Frost throw.
Game on.
And all of a sudden, we've got a game on our hands.
Well, two things happened in that finish. One, you've got to think that Van Barneveld has had an effect on Zuydwijk there for that shot, because 9 out of 10 players would go for the bull. The 25
57.
leaves 67, which leaves a single shot for bullseye. But Van Barneveld has well documented the fact that if you can't hit a triple
100.
with 2 darts out of the first 3, then you shouldn't be on that stage. He backed himself, but when he missed the double 16, he had a lovely little caress from that first flight, and it knocked it into the double 8. And this game
55.
could be slightly different now, but scores like that from Zuydwijk won't help.
It's an age-old debate on shots like the 92,
100.
the 91, all those kind of shots where you could go for the bullseye first and guarantee yourself a dart at the bull. But when it goes in, I suppose it's the right shot, isn't it?
Absolutely right, and everybody's different, and that's one of the beautiful things about a
96.
dartboard. You can do so many different things. That's the beautiful thing about sport. There are different approaches to different things, and there are so many
81.
complexities with different shots, and that's why it's so great to watch.
Here we see the flight of
43.
Mike Zuydwijk's darts there with the camera angle. And here's Frost's. One in the treble.
81.
Slight kick to the right with Mark's darts. He's been doing that for years.
He is first to a finish, but Zuydwijk can take a chunk out of this 250 if he can find a treble or two.
58. Mark
Frost has got a
139.
big chance to go 5-2 up here. Nice cushy 99 would have done.
And to break back immediately.
99.
That's exactly what he was looking for. Put it at 180 here.
123.
That's a bit of pressure.
Mark require
Mark straight to
40.
the hockey.
Game
Straight
shot,
in.
the 7th leg. Mark Frost.
No bother.
8th leg is
at all.
Mark to throw first. Game on.
So Frosty, the throw man, throwing for the match. And a place in the second round of the Austrian Darts Open.
100.
And the winner of this game, which is looking very likely to be Mark Frost. He will play
140.
Bully boy himself.
Yeah, the number 3 seed. Had plenty of success himself on these European Tour events.
Yeah, people say
135.
since the Premier League elimination, he hasn't played his best darts, but always does save his best stuff for the European Tour. Very dangerous player, big 180 scorer. And he'd be looking for a great performance this weekend to
81.
start his season. And who would bet against him?
Yeah, him and MVG last year really dominated the European Tour between them, quite literally taking the Michael.
Pretty much. He had a great game. And
52.
2 great games in the European Tour last year.
Zuydwijk finds a treble with the first start, follows it with a second. Can he fire in a maximum? Yes, he can!
180.
Did you notice on that there was a slight change in technique? Not so much wavering back and forwards
60.
with the arm.
Mike
He actually
Require,
controlled it
100.
and stopped. And look what it did.
Well, it's left a straight ton. Can go out in 12 if he finds double 10.
80.
How many players
Mark
can say
Require,
that they change technique in the
154.
middle of a match? It might not count for anything if Frosty can hit 154.
58.
Well, this
Mike,
match
you require
is not
20.
yet over. Mike Zuydwijk looking for double 10 to break and move within 2 legs of Mark Frost, who only needs 1 for the win. But he's only got 1 dart left.
No
And
score.
he's found the wrong bed.
Mark require 96.
Wrong bed. Too many. He's back to where he started. Frosty 96 for the match. Not a bad lie for the 60 that. Oh, just slightly too high.
56. Mike require 20.
Right, he's got another go, but this time it's got to go. Can't get much closer than that without hitting it.
Oh, it's a gate to the left. He'll be thinking, that's huge. I've got to hit this.
He's had to step across a couple of feet.
No score. Mark
to
require
be.
40.
40 for 6-2. And
Game
through.
shot. Man of the match.
Mark Frost
Mark
goes
Frost.
through with a great 6-2 victory over Mike. He'll play Michael Smith next.
Yep, that's the end of the afternoon session here at the